All right, we're live.
We are live.
From ESC 2011.
Day 2. And John Sokol is with us, and thanks for sitting in, John.
Yeah. I'm Jeri Ellsworth.
I'm Chris Gammell.
I'm John Sokol.
Yay.
So, we're supposed to recap the day.
Wow. So,
let's start at the end. How about that?
Yeah, start at the end.
That's the most exciting part.
The most exciting thing, I'm giving a talk, which is supposed to be on debugging techniques, and 5 minutes into it, all the power goes out, completely black.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah.
It's like a rock concert got shut down.
Were you there watching? You said you weren't going to come.
I did not watch.
You dirtbag.
I was
I was hoping for more applause when the power went out.
yeah, right. I was sitting there drinking some beer.
Oh, it was the beer and boards.
It was beer time, yeah.
They had their event, Beer and Boards,
Yeah.
giving away. That was sponsored by element14, I think, right?
That was not that one, but there was a different beer event. There's a lot of beers flowing like wine.
Flowing free.
Yeah.
So the power goes out, and then like a minute later, all the emergency lighting comes on.
Yep.
And so I kept talking to the audience, and I was like, all right, I got some slides that have some of this info, but I'll talk about something else. And
yeah, it's freeform. It was Olympic in scale. It was good. It was good. I came over at that point. At that point, it was good. So
yeah, and I just kept going, and eventually I think I pretty much covered everything because I was like, it was
ran over time too, right?
Yeah, it was pretty much obvious that the power wasn't going to come back on after about 45 minutes.
Yeah.
And the audience was still like asking questions and enjoying it, but it was exciting. It was very free form. I enjoyed that.
And you didn't lose your voice either. That's good.
No, it may happen tonight though. I have the Keynote talk tomorrow, and hopefully it wasn't a death blow to my throat.
Yeah. So John, what did you think of the conference?
That was pretty good. I managed to cover almost the entire thing in 4 hours, which...
you might have to speak up a little bit.
I managed to cover the entire thing in 4 hours, which took some effort.
Yeah.
So you hit every booth?
Every booth.
So it's John's first day here. And
it was my only day.
Only day, that's right. So only day here. You did the expo only, which is a great option for a lot of people in the area.
A lot of great networking. I ran into a bunch of friends I knew, which was cool.
You know, that's definitely a big thing for me because, you know, I'm not from the area. First time out here, and I meet someone like you who knows everybody, and that's so cool to me because it's like, hey, I meet John, then I meet everybody else, or meet Jeri, and meet everybody else.
This is like kingdom of the nerds.
I know, and I love it.
Well, networking is so important too. I mean, that's probably the biggest value out of these, in my opinion, is being able to go and walk up to people and talk to them. There's a lot of really good courses too. So you didn't like the jugglers, huh?
No, I don't pay attention to them, but I when I see a lot of that showiness, it's a distraction from the
That's
the
true. It is nice.
Here,
We did run into some real engineers that I mean on the floor, not just like salespeople.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was a few pretty smart people there. I talked to the guys at Sokol Image.
Yeah.
And they had a little 3D camera set up with DSP and everything. That was pretty cool.
Nice. Yeah, it seems like they're pushing that a lot too, with like the engineer as the focus too. At least at this kind of event, I think it's really good. They were, every time they've introduced speakers, so they've introduced the WAS, it's an engineer, and the guy from Micron today is a ESC, and Meg Self, was it?
Yeah, that's
from
right.
IBM, I believe she was an engineer at some point too. So I think they're definitely trying to push that engineering mindset. That's a big...
Well, no, I think with the economy down, they actually need to have like real substance, and that's what the engineers are for, as opposed to a bunch of pretty girls and jugglers and just fluff, tchotchkes.
Of course, there was the fluff out front. I saw the LaCroix guys had their typical like Segway babes running around, not doing much of. I don't quite understand
know what the deal is with that. Again, it's like it's just a distraction. I don't even want to go to their booth when I see stuff like that.
It's just, interesting.
To me, it's like, okay, there must not be substance if you're pushing fluff.
That's interesting. Yeah. So it's almost like a prejudice you have based on that.
I want steak, not cotton candy.
Hey, that's a good way to say it. I like that. I like that a lot. You heard it here first. John says steak, not cotton candy. So.
All right. Okay, LaCroix. Sorry. Edit that out.
So I actually got to go to a session today. Bonnie Baker from TI, she was giving a great session on analog in the midst of all the digital. So I'm always a fan of that.
So is Bonnie an analog engineer?
She is. She's at TI. She writes a bunch of analog articles. And big fan of hers. So,
oh wow.
Yeah.
So what was the main thrust of it? What did she say?
It was actually IBIS, IBIS, which is transmission line calculation, so that you can reduce reflections in a high-speed digital signal, which is actually an analog signal. Let's be honest, folks.
This is for networking or just on a PC?
This is PC board, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, transmission line.
So what kind of simulation tools was she suggesting?
She suggested a commercial IBIS-based tool, which is a variant. It's not a SPICE tool. It's actually a very specific model.
Oh, okay.
So it's a way to model your inputs and outputs so that you can have this very set model. So it's output impedance, input impedance, and then transmission line impedance. Match it all up. So I enjoyed that a lot. It was cool.
And that's the area you work, right? You do board level and system level?
Yeah, board level, system level. Not necessarily transmission line, just because I'm slow. I'm a slow guy. So.
I saw something that was really cool.
Yeah.
They have batteries, lithium-ion batteries, that are done with a lithography process, and they actually build these little tiny batteries. They're just tiny as my fingernail. On a wafer, on a silicon wafer. Then they dice them up.
Whoa.
And they have...
Like a MEMS? Is that what it is?
Similar.
Yeah.
So they're building up these layers on top of a wafer. And it wasn't clear to me whether they're actually putting the voltage regulators onto the silicon that they're building these batteries, but that's the impression I got. They're very small, like nanoamp hour capacity, but good for energy harvesting, where you can charge them up and then run one of these really tiny CPUs for a short amount of time, then put it back
So
to
that
sleep.
was that company with the energy harvesting chips?
There's quite a few energy harvesting companies here. ST Micro had some really cool game demos and stuff, all running off of various forms of energy harvesting. And these guys were one of the smaller booths, although I saw them at Avnet also pushing their product.
Yeah. I really like how the booths are grouped too. We were walking down, me and John were walking around before, and we were walking down, I think it was like the wireless module aisle. Yeah. That was cool, because you're just like, module. And then you go to another aisle, software.
There was a couple of wireless things though in some of the other aisles too.
Oh, really?
I'm scattered a little bit.
Okay.
But, yeah,
I think a lot of these companies have different product SKUs that cover, you see some wireless.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of people now, these new Wi-Fi modules, and one of the companies would tell me I get like 5 of them for like $30 or something like this.
It's like an
Wi-Fi,
deal.
So they had one.
That's like
I have to go dig
production,
through my bag if I want to find the company name.
Yeah.
But they had, I think it was in the ARM booth. They had a power controller, so it's just 110 volts in, and it would flip on and off a light switch, but it was controlled over Wi-Fi.
Oh, cool.
Which was cool, because I played with the X10 stuff, which is like just extremely unreliable, and sometimes things would like spontaneously
X10's the power
turn on
one,
and
right?
off.
A power line communication one?
Yeah. I did a lot of work trying to use this stuff, X10, over the internet, because I do video, and I want to be able to, here's the site, I'm looking at 3,000 miles away, I want to be able to turn on the light, or just do things remotely, and the X10 was my way of doing it, because I could go from the PC out to the serial port and control them. But it was unreliable, so it just spontaneously, like a little glitch in the power lines, and things would turn on and off by themselves.
Oh no!
So I really like the idea though of having an IP connected device over Wi-Fi that I could know for sure I've turned it on, and I could verify back over an IP.
Are you talking about a thing that's internet connected, a veritable Internet of Things, John? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, something like that.
Buzzword bingo.
I like, like Vincent Cerf's concept, IP on everything.
Yeah.
I always found at least the early generations of many of these Wi-Fi enabled devices is very difficult to get them configured to your network. Have you worked with any of these to where can they automatically negotiate with the routers and connect?
I've worked with a number of different things, but it really depends. A lot of them, they've got some kind of weird, funky software to configure it initially.
Really?
Even the little Ethernet devices that aren't Wi-Fi, like those Lantronic ones, you've got to use their special config thing, which is annoying because, I want to write my own code so that you plug the thing in and I go through my Windows GUI rather than having to have them install the Lantronix config tool to operate my device. I don't know, you've ever used the 6-bit boards?
I have not.
Okay, it's got like 6 relays controlled by an Ethernet. They weren't here today, but you've got to use the Lantronix config tool before you can use the board. And then you're just talking, what would normally be a serial connection.
That's right. Thank you. Bye.
So we saw something kind of cool today. We ran into two young guys that were at the University of San Jose. Is that
San
right?
Jose State.
San Jose State.
Yep.
And they were talking about how they were using this kind of like crappy old board. With,
Yeah, old FPGA board. They just kind of were given it.
Yeah, it's like, well, it's going to be small and slow, and well, we can maybe prove that our project's going to work, and we're like, come on, let's go talk to the Xilinx guys.
Yeah, we're just right next to them. And it's like, hey guys, what do you got going on?
Yeah, and so we go over there and we say, hey guys, can you get these guys some boards? I mean, maybe a generation prior.
Yeah.
And they're kind of timid, like, oh, I don't know. The two guys were a little bit timid, but then we got the salespeople like, oh heck yeah, we'll give you boards, give us your information.
Yeah.
And it's like, all right.
Yes, the boards were flowing like wine.
Yes, lots of boards around here.
Yeah, I mean, it's really about communication and stuff rather than, trying to do everything yourself. I mean, there's so much synergy and so many people with expertise. It's really about finding these people and networking with them to take advantage of them.
Well, it never hurts to ask too.
Yeah, that's a great especially for students too. Like, really these companies want to get it in your hands, because if you're if you're an Atmel person to start with, you might be an Atmel person for life. That's kind of the basis for the thing. So
that's true. I started with Altera FPGAs, and still today, I lean towards Altera just because I know the tools and I know the I don't want to say quirks necessarily, but I know the flow of them, and so I'm going to be more tempted to use Altera.
So.
Right, you can be tempted away, but it's that initial.
There's a learning curve. I mean, every time you try something new, there's an investment you've got to make into learning it, and if you can reuse that investment over and over again, well, it's just the obvious way to go.
Yeah, no, that's.
So yeah, I mean, it's like Apple was pushing the computers into the schools, and the hope is that you use Apple. And that actually worked very well for them.
Yeah, like that loss leader model too. You can give it away up front.
There's I saw Renaissance was giving away some boards. They gave me a board. It looked like they gave a few of them away of their new product they announced. TI was pretty generous, weren't they?
Yeah, a lot of companies were.
Did you guys see any other freebie?
I got a freebie from, what company was it? It's one of these little cloth boards.
I know TI was giving away the parts in the gumball machine. I like that.
I didn't get to see that. How do you get them out of the gumball machine?
Just turn it out. I don't know if you had to put a point in, but.
Oh, really? Yeah. Well, maybe I'll go there and empty the thing out.
Yeah.
Bust the
Smash
glass.
it, yeah.
I really like.
Just take the whole machine.
There was the MPS 430. MSP. I always get it transposed. But I really like those little devices.
They're fun.
Although I think was it ST that was now bragging they had the lowest power one?
Oh.
Everyone always brags they have the lowest power one.
Yeah. Well, need the power. Need power. Alternately, lots of swag. I know. John rated
the Mouser guys gave me lots of back scratchers. I told them how much I love these things, and they're like, "Here, take a bunch."
Man, they must get those things cheap.
Yeah, I know. People are gonna think I'm really itchy.
Wow.
That guy's itchy.
I'm coming a mile away. Right,
microchip. They had the little kit, and they had the.
I want that, man. I'm gonna go try to.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So it's got a little LCD here.
Yeah.
It's a great thing.
It even comes with a battery and an LCD.
Exactly. I'm
capacitive touch on there. Yeah, it's their AAA LCD clock demo.
Yeah, lots of cool parts coming out.
Yeah, they had some capacitive touch sliders and stuff, but they didn't seem like they were really linear. Like it would go. It would give me kind of a linear movement here, and then it would stall, and then some more movement. Yeah. So as I move my finger, it wasn't like a nice, smooth, continuous. Maybe there's a way of linearizing it with software or something, but
I played with some of those capacitive touch controllers. They're kind of tricky. A lot of them are auto leveling, so humidity changes and things like that'll change.
What if there's some RF noise or something in the background?
I'm sure. Yeah, there's a lot of factors.
I've been in places where the police roll by, and if they key up the radio, it just messes up everything.
Oh,
Really, even capacitive touch, you've seen it?
Yeah, I've had a TV back in the 80s that was capacitive touch, and suddenly it would just spontaneously change channels, and it's like, the fire department just roll by,
Right. Well, if it was from the 80s, it's probably one of those really simple, 555 circuits that just uses
555.
Yeah, 555 all the way. They just kind of used AC hum in the air. A couple to it. So maybe let's hope that they're better today than. Actually, I find capacitive touch very annoying. Maybe it's just because I've had some bad phones and I have a bad laptop that you just get too close and proximity starts going on.
Wow, like theremin style?
Yeah, it's like,
wow.
all right, my network adapter turned off. Or I just hung up on this person.
Yeah. So, it's been a good day. I mean,
man, it was great.
Day 2, nice and fast. Tomorrow, Jeri is giving the keynote.
I'm a little nervous. They made me do a rehearsal today, and it's a big auditorium.
800 people in seats.
I'll probably get 10 people.
10.
They'll be in the
2
back
at least,
too.
right?
I don't know. I'm
You
not
probably
that-
Oh no, he's not coming.
I gotta go to
One
work
at least.
tomorrow.
One at least. Yeah, it's pretty cool. They have all these LCD screens and projectors and like nice lighting stuff, like LED lighting thing. It's like it's probably
Theme
one.
music too. Yeah.
Did they? I didn't go to any of them. It's probably one of the fancier keynotes I've done. I don't know if it's going to be more.
The fanciest? Will it be
At
the
least as
fanciest?
far as like
Twilly bits?
set dressing type stuff,
yes, okay.
and all the blocking stuff they want me to do. Like,
Oh really?
yeah, it's
Stand
like
over here, stand
you're gonna be in the green room, and then you're gonna walk out here, and then at exactly 50 minutes into it, you're going to.
Do a cartwheel.
It's gonna be great. They wouldn't let me use my roller skates. Nope. I wanted to do some pyrotechnics, like in Helsinki when I did a keynote. Nothing.
Yeah, I was.
That's all right. I'll just have to make it up.
Skates today. I was disappointed.
They booted me out last time when I had skates. So
At an embedded systems conference.
Design Con.
Yeah. Same people.
Yeah. Actually, I ran into one of the guys today, and he said, and there were we were just kind of discussing how well the show is going. He goes, and there were no girls rolling around on skates, which is good. There's a little contention there because I tweeted about it.
Yeah.
Those sneakers with little.
Oh yeah, the rolling
wheel on
wheels.
it.
Yeah.
Nope.
What else? What else is exciting happening tomorrow?
Tomorrow there's a bunch of DSP sessions, which I'm excited about. I always love DSP stuff.
Really?
Yeah.
So what's so?
It's at the end of the day, though, of course. The guy that has to fly back to Ohio.
Oh man, when you need to fly out.
11 o'clock.
Oh, red eye.
Yep, red eye. Red eye.
So do we want to cover anything from yesterday?
Well, I did a video from yesterday.
Oh, you did?
I did, yeah. It's short.
Oh, okay.
Talking about the WAS and Tom. You were there for that.
Do we want to talk about anything specific numbers? I've got like a huge stack of numbers for.
I think
We'll probably.
yeah, we're well into the 20-minute mark probably by now.
Yeah.
We've had.
I didn't do anything yesterday. I'm a sucker. Well, how'd you slip in? All right, do we want to close this out with it?
We should. So thanks to element14 for the sending us here, Roving Reporters.
That's right.
We appreciate that, John. Thanks for stopping by. You can look John up online. He has been regaling me with all of the stories. He has some interesting history in Silicon Valley, so definitely look John Sokol up.
Videotechnology.com.
There we go,
Ah,
videotechnology.com. Yeah. So, thanks for watching.